Okay guys, I finally have one. This is one reel that I've been so excited about getting in. It's the new Saltiga 2022 edition 15H Slow Jigging Reel. I've been so hanging for this reel to come out since it was announced at the Japanese tackle trade show earlier in the year, and I've got to say, I've had a quick play with one before doing this video, and I've got to say it's absolutely amazing. So in the box you get a little Daiwa reel cover, and then the reel is packaged perfectly in the box. This thing has got to be one of the best looking overhead reels I've ever had the pleasure of holding. But look at that thing. Honestly, like, the finish it's exceptional. I have to say, like, this reel, I saw all the photos of it when it was released by Daiwa Japan, and all the photos looked incredible. All the footage that I've seen on YouTube, every video that I've read or watched on this reel, and they've all looked amazing. And I have to say, in the flesh, it looks just as good as in all the content that's been released about it. So this thing is going to be the ultimate slow pitch jigging reel. It's absolutely just, yeah, I'm stoked to finally have one in my hands. And you know, if you look at this reel, I don't know if this video is going to do it justice, just how good it is. You know, everything's finished off perfectly. There's no, you know, from what I can tell, there's no real imperfections in it. I've just, yeah, super excited to get out and give one of these a crack. But let's have a bit of a rundown on it. I'll tell you some of the features and tell you a bit about what to expect from this reel. This new Saltiga series is only available in one size currently, which is a 15. So it's a 15H reel, and it's essentially a slow pitch jigging reel. So for any of your demersal fishing, for any of your you know, medium to light tackle jigging, this is going to be absolutely fantastic for you. This reel, it's a star drag, so it's got the star drag on the side. To increase the drag or to decrease the drag, you simply either tighten that or loosen that knob on the side. With the free spool lever, this is an automatic engaging lever upon the retrieve of the handle. And you can see one thing with some of the reels like this in this design is that mechanism's not very smooth, and normally I felt a couple of other reels where you really have to actually crank the reel to get it to actually auto engage. But on this, it's super smooth. Like, if you can see that, I don't know how well you can see it, but look at that. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this. So that's one feature that I really like, especially if you're slow pitch jigging, because you can drop your reel or drop your jig down, hold your reel, and as soon as that jig hits the bottom, or if you see some fish on the sounder, you can simply just engage the reel with one hand. You don't have to take your hand off that handle, and boom, away you go. Now on the side of the reel, this is what they call a spool lock. So it's not a ratchet, it's actually a spool lock. So if you get, it's handy for a couple of things, because if you get snagged, what you can do is engage the spool lock, and you're not using your drag to bust the line off. The spool is completely locked, so that's going to lock up. You can pull against your rod, or you can pull against the snag and be able to bust your lure off or bust your line off. Another really handy feature for that is when you're storing the reel and you have your hook or your assist hook on your rod, you can back your drag off and leave the spool lock on, so the reel's not going to overrun. That's a really handy feature that I found for when I'm going fishing. And you know, you don't want to pit your drag washers by leaving your drag done up super tight. So that spool lock, that's what that's for. When you wind the reel, it has a clicking noise to let you know that the spool lock is on. So this Saltiga features hyperdrive digigear. And what the hyperdrive digigear does is it makes the reel smoother. It's a stronger design, and it gives you significantly more power and more cranking power. So if you're hooked on a fish real close to the bottom and you really need to crank that fish up off the bottom, you got the power in this gearing design to really be able to put the hurt on the fish. Moving on to the drag of this reel, they actually feature the ATD drag in this new Saltiga. And what it does is it utilizes a new and improved drag grease. So it's got a very low velocity at rest, and it's got very low inertia. So the drag's a lot smoother, and you can actually increase the drag a lot more than the previous models. One of the best things though that I really like about the drag on this is it's got a drag clicker. So if you can listen to this, as line comes off the spool, it clicks. So that's just a nice little feature. I mean, it's some guys like it. I really enjoy it. I've used a couple of other reels that have that clicker on, and when you're fighting a fish, it's just I don't know, it feels really good when you're actually using it and fighting a fish with that little drag clicker. Now, with all Daiwa reels, this is mag sealed, so you have the mag sealing protection on the bearings. This model as well is made in Japan, so if you look at it, like I was saying with the finish, it is absolutely outstanding, and you can tell that this reel it's Jap quality. Now, if you buy one of these reels, there's one little upgrade that you need to do, and I had to do this on mine, and I think you're going to want to do it on yours as well, and that's putting the SLP WORKS gold knob on it. Now, this knob, I find it more it's a lot more comfortable when you're fishing with this egg knob opposed to the full T-bar rubber handle. Some guys like the T-bar. The good thing with the T-bar is it's weighted, so it'll always find its place. But I always just find that the gold knobs are so much more comfortable. And I mean, if you want wank factor, that's wank factor. You can't get a better looking reel than that. So now, looking at the spool capacity of this reel, this will hold 600 meters of PE2, 400 meters of PE3, and 300 meters of PE4. So whatever line that you're fishing for in that light jigging, you're going to hold stacks on there. The free spool on it as well is exceptional. You can see just how well that spool spins. So dropping a jig to the bottom, this reel is going to be great for getting those jigs down nice and quick. Now, I'm just finishing up the edit of this video, and as I was doing it, I completely forgot one of the most important features of this reel, which is something completely new, and I haven't seen it in any other reel before. And what these Saltiga 22s feature is an anode system. So a bit like your outboard engine, they have an anode on the outboard to stop corrosion. Well, this reel's got an anode on the inside of the reel. Now, this is something new, and like I said, we haven't seen this in any fishing reel before. Well, I haven't seen it at least. And what this is going to do is offer you more protection against the salt water. If anything's going to corrode, it's going to be the anode itself, and it's going to offer more protection to your bearings, offer more protection to the overall longevity of the reel. So that's something really cool, and it's something new from Daiwa. Anyway guys, that's the all new Saltiga 2022 15H jigging reels. So if you want to get yourself one of these, our first batch has already sold out before they've even hit the shelves. But what you can do is you can go onto our website, I'm going to link it below, get your pre-order in for when our next batch arrives. You're not going to want to miss out on getting one of these. Available in a left and a right hand version. That's the all new Saltiga 2022.